What is up, guys? Zach from Omega here, coming with another war recap. This one actually going to be a long video, so buckle up. I will be talking the whole time, but I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible because I got a pizza sitting right next to me, and it's slowly getting colder. But yeah, this war was actually with Team Twiddle and Team Skitch, as you see here, which was actually a Fair Play Elite Scrim that we did. We had, I might link the roster in the description, but we had clans from, let me see, we had War Whales, FYSB, War and Glory, Cold September, Dark Looters, Golden Goblins, North Remembers Family, Poetic Darkness, Reddit Ion, Crystal Warrior, Onehive 2.0, PWC, Reddit Omega, TheDarkKnights, Reddit Ion, if I didn't already say that, KingJefferey, Cold September, Reddit Asylum, and let's see what else we had. GS96, Immoral Thieves. I'm probably missing some. Peuerbach, we had that as well. If I missed one, I do apologize. Let me know in the comments if I did, and I will. I won't do much, but I do apologize. But yeah, it was just a good time where we came together and we just kind of split up and did an elite war with 15 Town Hall 11s and 35 Town Hall 10s. And we didn't really have that much organization as far as, you know, trying to get the most stars, or at least with Twiddler we didn't. But we really just wanted to have good practice, right? And be able to hang out with some of the best people in the game. You know, a lot of these guys are newly Fair Play, but it was still fun to be able to plan with them and, you know, see what they're made of, right? And it was, you know, great bases to practice on and things like that. So I personally really enjoyed it, even though I did have a 0-star war. So, yeah, I'm not pumped about that, but what can you do? But, you know, it was really fun. A lot of really cool attacks all around. And, yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I'm going to show teams... I'll start with Team Twiddler. No, okay, I'll start with Team Skitch. And the only reason why is because the top Town Hall 11 hit is... Well, I'll start from the top just to come through, show everything real quickly. But the top Town Hall 11 3-star, or the only Town Hall 11 3-star, is On My Base by Sorak here. And admittedly, he had seen this base before. He said he didn't, like, you know, study the traps before going in. But, you know, it was still kind of funny because, you know, I don't know if he's run this base, but he's at least seen it because I've used it in scrims. But basically what he's going to do is he's going to do a little queen walk and bring his Valks in with his queen. And in that way, the healers from his queen are probably going to swap to the Valks. I don't exactly remember. But he was able to avoid all the giant bombs by just jumping to the core right here. You can see that there's a decent chance that once they take out this Inferno Tower, they'll continue to the core to get to the enemy queen and continue pushing to the base. Unfortunately for him, it didn't actually take out the Inferno Tower, but as you can see, the queen will eventually step up here and take it out. The hogs are all going to go around, and all the giant bombs are in the core, so really these hogs are just going to do a ton of work over here. I mean, look at them. There is just like, I think it was 15 hogs or something like that. And they're going to push through this north side and come all the way around, taking out my little baby cannon right there, which was not as powerful as I thought it would be, unfortunately. And even though all the Valks die, the queen is going to be able to do so much work here for the hogs and so much tanking that it doesn't really matter. She does actually die because these two healers go over to the Warden, which is a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter as he does have just enough hogs to be able to push through and almost take out this last archer tower. But as you can see, these two Valks up here in the north and these wizards are going to walk all the way around with the help of the Grand Warden here to do a little bit of tanking, as well as, you know, sniping these interior buildings, that the wizards are going to be able to take out the rest of this base, which is really crazy. I mean, obviously, he didn't want it to end like that, but, you know, on a Town Hall 11 triple, you kind of have to be a little bit lucky, so what can you do? But, I mean, beautiful attack there to Sorak. I mean, it was his first Town Hall 11 triple, and I am very much honored that it could have been on me, right? Sorak being from Reddit Omega, and I will try to say the clan names as they come up, but I will probably not be able to find them in time on this sheet, and a lot of people aren't on the sheet, so what can you do? Next attack is going to be Sam here, and Sam is from, let's see if I can find it. Sam is from Immoral Thieves, and Sam is going to do a little queen walk starting up here, and you can see basically, not queen walk, but she's going to bust in with the queen and the king, going to be able to take out that air defense and the enemy queen, And once the enemy queen is down, you can see that there really isn't any threat from the CC, so he's just going to start his flight coming around. Really good pathing there to the Inferno Tower. It's going to go down pretty easily there with a freeze over it. LaLoon is coming through really easily here, has some good tanking on these wizards. Probably could have been a little quicker on those south loons, but obviously it didn't really matter, as those low health loons that went through the core were able to stay alive through here and are continuing to push the base. No real splash damage threat up there on the north, so as everything is converging up here on these last defenses, even though he doesn't have any hounds still alive, he has plenty of loons to come through with those ground air defenses and plenty of pups to get the rest of the cleanup done for a really pretty triple on our top Town Hall 10. Or I guess not top Town Hall 10, but one of our top Town Hall 10s. But beautiful attack there, Sam. Next attack, we're going to come down to our next triple, which is here on 23, where we have BNP Danny. And BNP Danny is going to do this is a Town Hall 11. BNP Danny, by the way, is from, oh, I'm sorry, MHO. Wrong one. MHO is from Peuerbach. I should have known that. And MHO is basically going to bring a golem inside right here, and once everything is going in, going to send in the Valks to go through the core, and then send the hogs around. Fast forward a little bit through this tanking. Going to send in some giants as well, and those giants, really what they're going to do, or at least the hope, and I don't know if they did or not, but the hope with those giants is that they're going to be able to pop the giant bombs before the Valks hit it. And he did pop the tome a little bit early for my taste, but obviously it didn't really matter as he got the triple, as the Valks are going to rip through this core and be able to come all the way back around. You can see they didn't get stuck on that wall right there, which is really fortunate, as they take out that Inferno Tower, as the hogs are now coming in from that southeast side. Going to come across the base with little giant bomb threat here, as the king does trip that last giant bomb, as the hogs are going to push through, taking out these last defenses. Not that much threat, honestly, over there on the southwest side. Just, 1 or 2 point defenses, as the loons and the hogs are going to converge right there in the west, and then everything is going to split to do the rest of the cleanup here, as everything is sort of working its way around toward the south for a really pretty 3-star hit. Was a Town Hall 11, but still a very beautiful hit here by MHO. Next attack, going to come down to 24, where we have lbizzle. Let me see if I can find it. lbizzle being not on the list. Maybe it's iBizzle. Yep, lbizzle's not on the list. I'm gonna guess Poetic Darkness. Is that? I have no idea. That's just me throwing random things out there. We did have a couple people have to come into the war at the last second that weren't on the original roster, and unfortunately I wasn't able to correct it for the team Skitch side. I do have it all correct for the Twiddler side. But the queen is just basically going to step up right here. You can see he's just making a funnel over here for the queen. So there's really nowhere for the queen to go except for into that air defense compartment. And he's just going to go in with all his Valks here. And as you can see, all that's left is just 5 loons. So basically just a mass Valk right here. The CC loon or hound is going to do very little to the Valks. The queen is going to get stuck on it, which is a bit unfortunate, as it is going to pop at a decently inopportune time. But the Valks are going to rip through, taking out those air defenses, and once those go down, going to drop those loons up there on the north side, as the Valks are going through the core pretty easily here to get over to that other Inferno Tower. And as you see, the healers are actually on the Valks, which is really nice. So even though that they've split a decent amount, the healers are on a decently good size pack, so that they're able to continue pushing through the base. Those loons on the west side unfortunately did split and weren't able to get to that wizard tower. I actually did take it down, so that's very nice that it went down. But very nice that the Valks are very split right here for cleanup, as the queen is going to be able to step over, taking out that last archer tower, as everything else is working its way around for the rest of this cleanup. So a very pretty attack here to lbizzle. Next attack, we're going to come down to Taco, where we have Brian going in. And Brian is going to do a little Queen Walk GoVaHo. Oh, no Queen Walk, just a GoVaHo. Brian is from Reddit Ion, by the way. And Brian's going to Earthquake right here into the core. And as you can see, that's going to open up quite a bit here, as the Valks are going to be able to get in, be able to take out both Inferno Towers pretty easily here. Just going to make a nice little funnel here, using that giant over there on the west side to make sure that exterior building goes down. The Queen, unfortunately, is sort of walking right here, but it actually isn't going to be that bad, because the Valks are all pushing in, and there's a hound in the CC. So there's actually, I bet he did that on purpose, to be honest, where the Queen is able to do her own thing and have decent tanking through the middle. Yeah, I bet he did do it on purpose, as he drops that giant over here to do a little bit of tanking as well. The hogs are all going to push through. You can see there's very little threat on the exterior compartments for hogs, so he's just going to use this heal to make sure all his hogs are full health, as they're going to come in here on the northeast side. The queen unfortunately is going to die because that expo didn't go down, but it doesn't really matter, as he does have a decent amount of hogs still alive, does have one more heal as well. Probably should use those on the Valks in my opinion, just for cleanup's sake, but it doesn't really matter, as he does have plenty of hogs. Look at that, I think that's like 10 hogs still alive, if not more. And they're going to come all the way back around the base to get the rest of this cleanup taken care of, as that one lonely little archer over there on the west side is going to take out those buildings. So yeah, a little bit of awkward pathing on those hogs, but they do get back over to the other side of the base, take out the rest of the buildings for a very nice triple here from Brian. Nice Town Hall 11 hit. Next attack, we're going to come down to 33, where we have Optimus Crime going in on Snoop Ryan. Optimus Crime is from PWC, and he's going to do a little, just basically a mass Valk, Queen Walk mass Valk. Does have some loons. I guess it's a GoVaLo is what it is. You can see that once this core is opened up with the earthquake, the Valks are able to see all of these air defenses, so he's just going to watch where the Valks go, and whichever air defenses goes down, he's just going to support it by dropping in some loons to take out those exterior point defenses. So as you can see, makes a good funnel there. Going to drop in the Valks with the healers. It wasn't a Queen Walk, by the way, it was just healers on the Valks. I guess a Vealer attack, I don't know, I've heard it said a few different ways. I personally like these raids, but I like to couple them with a Queen Walk. But as you can see here, they do push the base really easily here. Going to drop that freeze down for that first Inferno, as they are sort of ignoring it, and that makes sure that they're pretty much full health as they go back to that other Inferno. That one little pack does die up there on the northeast side. But it does do quite a bit of work as everything is pushing through. This loon was not able to die, which is a bit unfortunate, but kind of funny that it was still able to push through. The queen is being an idiot and hitting on a wall for no reason. But as you can see, it doesn't really matter, as the healers are on the Valks, so they're going to keep them pretty much full health, even though that loon is trying to get some drops on them, as everything is going to continue pushing through the base, taking out the rest of this core. The queen is eventually going to come to the middle and take out that air defense, which is going to help out the 4 loons that he has still alive. Just going to take advantage of good tanking over there. And does drop those on the northeast, which does die to the air defense, but does take out the archer tower. So really, good job of seeing that it was still going to die, even though the air defense wasn't already down. There are some Valks going around the outside, but that is going to help out for cleanup, as the queen is pretty much able to reach everything here of threat, other than one cannon, from where she is. She does, of course, walk through that wall like an idiot. But she can reach pretty much everything as the rest of space is getting cleaned up. So very pretty attack here from Optimus Crime. Town Hall 10 on Town Hall 10 hit. Next attack, we're going to come down to 34 out of King Tim, where we have Basti going in. Basti being from, not on the list. Basti's not on the list, so I am going to guess. I have no idea. Actually, I won't pretend to try to guess. I'll stop doing that. But just going to take advantage of the free minion funnel here down on the south and the east. As these buildings are going to go down, he's just going to send in the queen over there on the east side to continue walking around to the north. And I would assume going to send in all the Valks down there from the southeast. We'll see though. Maybe he is just taking advantage of the absolutely free funnel. Look at that little minion go. Wow. Yeah, so there goes the golem there. Gonna take advantage, or drop some wizards to help take out the rest of these buildings. King and Grand Warden do go down. Gonna drop that jump, and he does, let's see, I couldn't really tell. He missed a lot of the Valks in the Grand Warden's tome, but he was trying to use the tome for the backside Inferno. The Hogs do hit a giant bomb right there, but luckily there are enough Valks to have ripped through the core, as the queen is just going to continue walking around here, able to pretty much reach everything from the outside of this base. So really good job of keeping the queen alive here, and just taking advantage of the fact that she can pretty much reach everything from the outside of this base, and just had to get through the little bit of core that was there. So really pretty attack here from Basti. Next attack, we're going to come down to 36, where we have Caesar going in on Mega King. Caesar being from War Whales, and he's going to do a little LaLoon, just looks like a Queen Walk LaLoon. I don't know what's in the CC. A lot of wall breakers. This is almost reminiscent of a composition you would see from the pre-30-second days. This is probably one of my favorite attacks from the war, if no other reason because he was able to use the zapquake on the CC, which is really neat that he didn't have to burn a poison for that. And you can see the queen is going to step up and be able to take out 2 air defenses, and then actually going to be able to wall breaker into the core. The king is going to go into that west compartment over there and be able to take out just 2 point defenses, but really didn't need much. Really just basically keeping the queen in the right position and keeping that expo off of her for a little bit. At that point, the queen is going to step up, going to see the enemy queen right there. Luckily does still have her ability, as he's going to burn that, and then just have 1 point defense on her where she's sitting right now, as these loons are going to work their way in over here from the east and southeast side, just easily working around the base. Going to drop that freeze to cover a wizard tower, air defense, actually misses the air defense, but wizard tower and inferno tower, as the loons are all going to converge on this last little bit of the base. Does have 1 more expo to go down, but fortunately he does have plenty of loons still alive, and he does have some cleanup as well as he drops that to get around the base. Does unfortunately lose the queen right there. She did so much work in this raid. Does lose her to the enemy king, but doesn't really matter as he does have plenty of cleanup still alive to get the rest of this base taken down. So this was probably my favorite attack from the war. Really beautiful hit here by Caesar. Next attack coming down to 41, Karl Marx. We have ddbb going in. ddbb being from Dark Looters. Is that correct? Yeah, he's from Dark Looters. Good. Gonna do a little queen walk. You can see she has a pretty good walk where she is dropped to where she's gonna walk up to the north. 11 wall breakers, which is really crazy. Just gonna drop a hog in wall breakers, which is interesting because a lot of times you'll see a giant in wall breakers, but in that case he was actually able to get a couple hits on the mortar, which is going to help things out a little bit more than a giant, which is just purely for tanking. The queen is going to get that golem with only 1 point defense on her, which is very nice. Going to go ahead and drop that early rage to make sure she's able to push through to get these buildings taken out. Does unfortunately lose some wall breakers to that Tesla, but actually loses all of them. But the queen is going to be able to bust through that wall. Very fortunate that she only has she has 2 point defenses on her rather. But doing good work still from where she is, and you can see she's going to be able to reach a lot of the base once she steps up. Heal goes down for those Valks as they do kind of go over to the west compartment, which you probably didn't want. But they are going to all come back over to the southwest as they're going to work their way eventually back over to the Inferno as the queen does step up and actually takes it out, which is a little bit fortunate, I'm not going to lie. But luckily the queen is still alive to be able to push to that southeast compartment, take out the air defense, Tesla, and everything else, as a little bit of cleanup is working at the far southeast to take out the rest of these buildings for a very pretty hit here from ddbb. Gotta love it. Next attack, we're going to come down to 44, where we have Ben going in on Ista. Ben being from Reddit Omega, which is my clan, of course. Gonna get this free minion funnel up there in the north. Fast forward just a little bit here. Golem going in, queen going down. Basically, this is just a little GoVa LaLoon. So he really just needs to clear this compartment, which has an air defense and an Inferno Tower and the enemy queen. So instead of bringing a golem just for more tanking, he's just going to bring the Valks in to get a little bit quicker in there, to get everything taken care of before the golem really becomes a problem. Those Valks are going to get locked onto the golem, of course, and his queen is going to walk, which he probably didn't want to happen, if I'm going to guess. Maybe he did. I don't know. She does end up taking out a cannon, which is going to help a little bit. And a Tesla as well, as his flight is coming in from the southwest side. Everything moving in really nicely. A little bit early on the freeze, but it's going to work out fine for him as the loons are all pathing over there really nicely. They are going to get targeted a little bit before, or when the Inferno Tower defrosts there. Does have the Wizard Tower that's shooting his loons. Doesn't really matter though, as that little pack of loons is going to all work its way over to that last Wizard Tower. Shoot, I was on 1x. And really, what kind of saved this raid, honestly, as you see his last Hound pops, is that loon split right there. Because that's going to make it where this weak pack of loons that's behind this full health pack of loons doesn't end up dying. And so that Wizard Tower is going to go down, and then just plenty of pups still alive to work their way around this base, take out the rest of these buildings for a very nice 3-star on this GoVa LaLoon here from Ben. Pretty attack. Next attack, coming down to 45, we have Leopold. This was also a very nice attack. Leopold being from Reddit Ion. And here he's just basically going to do a little queen walk GoVaHo. And one thing you might notice, I'm going to talk a little bit why the queen walks, is that there are quite a bit less GoVaHos than we've typically seen. And that's probably something that has a lot to do with there being a lot of TWC people in here, which they obviously were better at the LaLoons, because that was what was good when they were in TWC. Another thing is that base design has really favored anti-Valk, and that really has opened up the door for the LaLoon to be another, to be very good again, right? So as as things are working around, it just kind of goes full circle where the thing that's unpopular becomes popular. The thing is, it's just as meta changes here. But here it is just a GoVaHo, as the queen does unfortunately die right here. But you can see there's very few point defenses left on this back side, as he is going to get everything taken down. Does have some loons to take out that cannon and eventually that wizard tower as well. So very nice use of loons right there, as everything just sort of converges down there on the southwest, taking out the rest of these buildings, and then just clean up remaining. And it's going to be a very pretty 3-star here from Leopold. This is a very nice attack. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, next attack, we're going to come down to 47, where we have Kalior being attacked by Yotam. Yotam is from Immoral Thieves. And let's see, doing a little queen walk GoVaHo here. Queen going to start kind of awkward pathing on the queen, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he wanted her to go around to the west side, but what actually ends up happening is she's able to reach or see these point defenses just one at a time, and so she's actually going to basically be able to step on out of there without ever using a rage. That CC lure is coming all the way out to her, and you can see she's completely full health right now as she hits a wall, which is actually good in this case, because that's where he's going to I think that's where he sends his Valks in. I don't exactly remember. I'll let him tell you, I guess. So yeah, Golem going down right there, just making a nice easy funnel. Actually, Valks are going in from the corner. Queen actually gets off of the wall though, as after the CC goes down, then just going to drop a jump. That's going to open up the core and the Inferno Tower compartments. Going to use an early tome there, going to use that rage to get everything moving into the core really easily, as the last jump goes down. Does use a freeze as well. Has those Inferno Towers right there by the Teslas, which in my opinion is a bad thing, because it's just a Valk magnet. Those Teslas are going to help a little bit, but the fact that they're going to go down so easily when the Valks are targeting the Infernos, and also make it easier for the Valks to target the Infernos is in my opinion a bad thing. But they do obviously just rip through it, as he has plenty of Valks. I mean, I think he has like 10 Valks still alive, and plenty of other cleanup here, taking out the rest of his base. So really pretty attack there from Yotam. Next attack, we're going to go down to 48, where we have Ryan. And these are sort of the lower Town Hall 10s, as you see, level 1 point defenses. But just going to overwhelm it here with a Queen Walk GoVaHo. Queen is going to step up, be able to take out these first defenses. Is going to have to burn that rage, as she has 4 defenses on her. But everything is going to move in quite nicely here, as she's going to take out the air defense and eventually the CC. Does try to get that lure. I don't think he does. I don't remember exactly what happens. Yeah, big full Archer CC here. Fortunately, does have her ability so that poison is able to take effect as everything sort of splits onto the archers. But she does take out the CC, continues working around. All the Valks going in from the southwest over here, as he drops a heal and a jump. No freeze needed for these level 1 Infernos, as they're going to go down really easily. Just a single target Inferno there. So you can almost ignore it with Valks and just drop a heal there. Valks are pretty much full health coming into this last compartment here. Did kind of ignore that western side over there, as those hogs do die, but fortunately he does have plenty of troops still alive to be able to get the rest of his base. The queen was going to take that jump, and she decided not to for whatever reason. But very pretty attack here to Clan Battle Axe from he's not on the list. Not on the list. Maybe. Nope, not on the list. Next we're going to go down to 49, where we have Hergoth going in on Kin. Hergoth being from Golden Goblins. Oh, Hergoth. Yeah, everybody knows Hergoth. Hergoth is a freaking god photoshopper. Man, I'm super jelly. Just basically going to do a little GoVa LaLoon. Actually, not even GoVa, just Valks. Wow, look at that wall breaker going in right there from the CC. That's really pretty. Going to take out the air defense and all the CC, as well as the enemy queen. Doesn't take out the Inferno Tower, and does have 2 freezes for the Infernos, which probably, well, I don't know. It still helped, obviously. Ground air defenses, not air defenses, but expo, so can pretty much just ignore them and not use a rage over them, as everything is moving through really nicely here, and just kind of converging. Unfortunately, did lose quite a bit up there on the north side, so has really awkward pathing to this back side, which makes that freeze really early. Does still have 1 Hound still alive, tanking these last point defenses, as they are going to go down. That air defense is barely going to go down, but it does go down, and you can see he just has plenty of pups still alive to be able to do good cleanup over here. Does still have 1 point defense still around, but obviously with so many pups, it only really matters if he hits a really bad red bomb, as that last archer tower goes down and the last buildings go down. So very pretty attack there from HeVaLo. Next attack coming down to 50, where we have XY from Crystal Warrior going in, doing, I think he's from Crystal Warrior. Yep, Crystal Warrior doing a little Queen Walk GoVaHo. You can see she's just going to step up, be able to take out that northern compartment and continue working around. Look, another baby cannon. But, you know, going to take out those first defenses and continue working her way around. Does get the CC on her there. Going to drop that poison down, making sure that loon, well, the loon went down anyway. Didn't really matter. Then just going to wall break in there, and she's going to be able to reach the air defense and the wizard tower as well as provide really good funneling here through the core for these Valks. Valk's all going in, going to drop that rage, going to let them get the aggro from the queen in order to get to that compartment where they need to be, and then just going to drop a jump to basically connect the rest of the core as they're going to rip through, take out everything really easily. Does drop a heal there, does manage to save 2 Valks, which is nice, as well as get the hogs in there, so that's really massive. Does have 1 more rage as well. Unfortunately loses, well, actually those rage hogs were able to get through the rest of that base, even being low health like that, which is really impressive. I'm not going to lie that they were able to stay alive just having a giant pack of hogs like that, and you know, plenty of cleanup still alive. Does swag that wizard and queen ability as well, so really pretty attack there to XY. Whew, alright, I'm going to grab a sip of water. I'm dying. Oh, goodness. Whew, alright, time for Team Twiddler's attacks. Starting up at the top, we're going to come down to, where are we? There we go, Ben. What attacking him? What being from War Whales. Basically going to do here a little Queen Walk GoVaHo. Town Hall 11 dip. And I'm not sure. We had a guy named, well, I don't know. But Queen going to step up, going to take out these first buildings here, and then I don't exactly know. Okay, I see. Funneling her in, charging her in, going to take out those first air defenses, taking out the cannon, and then she's going to continue stepping up, taking out a Tesla as well, which is very nice. Golem going down there on the west, making a very pretty, easy, big funnel there, as everything is moving in quite nicely. And able to get that ward in to be able to push up as well, which is going to be very nice for the tome. Gets, I think, all the Valks in the tome. I'm not exactly sure. And I think the tome covered the golem split as well, which is very nice, as they're going to push through, take out the Inferno Tower, as the hogs are going to work their way around from the north and continue pushing through. Very little threat here to giant bombs or spring traps. Well, they all died anyway, but luckily his queen is still alive as she trips her own little double giant bomb right there, and does have 3 hogs as well, which is he's just going to use to help out his queen, as she is going to barely stay alive. Wow, that was very fortunate, but she does barely stay alive as she's going to push up, taking out those last defenses as the rest of the base is already down. So very pretty attack there to What, doing a very good job of getting cleanup down early as well, which I really like in this lack of 30-second stays. Next attack is I Suck Watcher on Balrix, which is, he is from Poetic Darkness, and he's going to do a little Queen Walk GoVaHo here. Queen going to step up right here, going to use that wizard over there to funnel, going to get her to walk down there to the south. You can see the air defense is just out of range where it is not going to target the healers, as the queen is going to take out those first point defenses and continue working around, not having to use a rage right there, which is very nice. As those defenses do go down, and she is going to step up into this corner here. He gets the lure down there from the south, as the CC does get on her. Luckily, she does take out the loon first, which is very nice. Does pop that ability, which is interesting. Probably didn't need to do that, but isn't going to be too terrible as that golem does go down. She does continue working around here as he's going to drop that jump, just allowing all the Valks to be able to just pummel this base right here. Moving through very nicely, and not having to worry about dropping those Valks later. Gets that tome down as the core and enemy queen goes down really easily here. Does have that freeze as well, as they split really nicely here across that giant bomb. That healer does actually target the Valks, which is going to be really nice actually for him here, keeping those Valks full health to the backside as those loons come down from the north, taking out the rest of these point defenses as everything is just sort of converging up there. Does have the town hall still to go. But as you can see, everything, just way too many troops alive to not be able to take that town hall down, as the loons just take it down pretty much in one bomb drop. So very nice attack there to I Suck Watcher. Next attack, coming down to 18, is Predator. Predator from Wiz Honor Face. And he is going to do a little Queen Walk GoVaHo. And as you can see, going to drop that giant down there to go and get those wall breakers down. At the same time, wait till that cannon and arch tower are tanked and go ahead and drop wall breakers as well. Little bit lucky that the queen did walk that way instead of walking around when she saw that army camp. But as you can see, she is going to take out those first point defenses. Just has one on the queen here, as she does step around. Going to get this lure in just a second. Really, I mean, he got actually very lucky, to be honest. He's going to step up right here in just a second. So right there, he's actually in Inferno Tower range. But somehow he gets really lucky there, and the queen doesn't see the CC. So fortunately, she does get out of Inferno Tower range, but while dealing with the CC there, as he's going to send in all the Valks up there from the northeast. They're going to freeze the Inferno Tower, bust through really easily here, freeze that backside Inferno Tower, has the jump there as well, as the Valks are going to take that out really easily, and the Hogs are working up there, really helping out the queen as well, making sure that air defense isn't going to do any damage to her. Does have 3 more Hogs, and once that last cannon is tanked, he's going to drop those Hogs on that last cannon, as he's going to pop that king ability to bust through, taking out this last wizard tower and these last buildings, as well as the queen is, I don't know, doing whatever the queen does and hitting a wall for no reason. For a very pretty 3-star though, as the last buildings go down from Predator. Very pretty. Next attack, coming down to 19, we have a Psychonaut. Psychonaut being from, he's from PWC. Why is he not on my list? Oh, I'm on the wrong list. Yeah, he's from PWC though. And as you can see, just going to basically take advantage of the free minion funnel up here. And once that's all going on, going to send in a golem and all of his Valks up there from the northwest, and then has some loons to support as well. This is very similar to the raid that I mentioned earlier, where basically the entire core can be seen decently easily. Oh, I just sat on my dog. Sorry, bud. I think I sat on his ear with my chair legs. But gonna get the golem to go inside here, and really doing a good job here of waiting on the Valks. And really what that's gonna do, as you can see, the warden is gonna step up right here, and also gonna get the CC on it, right? So the CC goes down to the golems, the minions do, and then they're just gonna be in the middle of the base here. I didn't see when the tome was used, but the Valks are pushing through really easily here. Gonna get that last rage over that last Inferno. They're gonna go down pretty easily here, getting out that little mini Tesla farm, as well as the queen and the king are all working around there on the west side. Once they're pathing through, just gonna use these loons as support. Looks like he's going to, maybe he's just gonna swag the loons. I don't know what he's waiting on over there, but gonna drop those loons up there from the north side, taking out that archer tower and letting it path around to that cannon. Oh, actually that Inferno Tower didn't go down. I didn't realize that. But luckily the Queen does still have her ability. She will be able to take that down decently easily here. Once the Queen takes out that air defense there, going to drop those last loons in. And look, just going to basically swag 4 loons right there. Going to get them around on that northeast side just to help out with cleanup. But, really beautiful stuff when you're able to swag 5 loons or 4 loons, whatever it was. So very pretty attack here to Psy from PWC. Let's see. Alright, next attack, we're going to come down to Crave from North Remembers, where we have another Town Hall 11 dip, and he's going to come in doing a little, just basically a GoVaHo here. I don't know what's in his CC, probably, we'll see. Taking more advantage of free minion funnels here. Going to get that core opened up. Actually going to double Earthquake. So really, that's a lot of spell usage, but you can see pretty much the entire base is opened up right now. So, very interesting decision, but obviously it works out for him. Just going to make a little funnel right here on the east side, and then send in all of his Valks just to converge on that eastern compartment. Does have some go outside, which is a bit unfortunate, but is obviously going to help out with funneling them all in. Going to get that rage down. Really good use of Tome right there, making sure all his Valks are in there. They do hit some giant bombs in the core, as he's going to support them with some Hogs on the south side. The Queen did walk around, but honestly it probably didn't hurt him out too badly here, as she is going to pop her ability and take out these last little point defenses here. It does have that last expo, but those Hogs are going to take it out pretty easily, as the I don't even know what's all over down the west side, but plenty of troops still alive to be able to take out the rest of this base for a really pretty hit here from Crave. Very nice attack, man. Swagging that Goblin. OP. probably didn't see it, but what can you do? Next attack, coming down to 21, we have Nick 168. Nick being from, where is he from? He is from PWC, and he is going to go in, doing a little queen walk right here. You can see she should be able to step up, taking out these first buildings and continuing around to the south. Gonna drop that wizard down, making sure that she never walks over to get that whatever gold mine, whatever it's called. And you can see that she's just barely close to that north gold mine right there. She's going to take that out first and then step over for the western elixir storage as he's taking advantage of free minion funnels down here. The queen is going to step up, continue walking around, going to get that wall breaker to go down. She's going to be able to step into that compartment where she's going to be able to do quite a bit of work. And at this point, let's see, what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? I guess she's going to be able to avoid the Inferno Tower, which is going to be nice. She's going to be able to drop that poison down, get that loon poison. Wow, that cannon went down very nicely to that wizard, which is going to be very nice because it makes sure that it doesn't have to use a rage there. Does use a rage to get the Valks to the core, taking out that Inferno Tower. Does hit a double giant bomb with those little Valks. Doesn't really matter, as they do go to the southwest for whatever reason. He's going to let the other Valks do their own thing, as they are pushing all around over here on the east side. With plenty of loons still alive, they are going to die. Or sorry, plenty of Valks still alive. They are going to die there to that air defense. The loons are, but fortunately, since he does have his queen ability and plenty of Valks still alive, she's going to step up, and with no point defenses on her, just the Inferno Tower, she was able to get through that pretty easily. Dog, knocking over my vodka. And Queen going to be able to take out most of this stuff once she breaks into that compartment. She can see everything. So a very nice triple here from Nick 168. Next attack, we're going to come down to 23 to Sheroy, who is the organizer, by the way. Big shout out to JD's Army on Twitter. Make sure to follow him. And yeah, very good work organizing this. I mean, obviously there were so many clans involved. It was a lot of work. So very huge shout out to you. But Dido is going in, taking him out, showing him the respect, saying, "Hey, thanks for organizing this, but I'm gonna wreck your base." Queen gonna basically just start down here in the south, a little queen walk. Dido, by the way, is from Peuerbach. Queen starting down here in the south, gonna work her way around to the west side, using another, like I mentioned before, just a free minion funnel. Gonna get that wall breaker down. As you can see, did zapquake that Inferno Tower, so the Queen's gonna be able to get just really a huge value out of this walk right here, as she's gonna step up and just use a rage in order to take out the enemy queen and king. A little bit of a slow walk. This is almost reminiscent to the 330 days. You would see these a lot more, where you had the the luxury of time, which doesn't exist as much anymore. Looks like he's gonna pop that ability, so maybe he is trying to save that rage for the Valks, as the Queen is gonna shoot one of the art. Well, let's see. How does this Queen go down? Maybe does. Well, no. I guess no point defenses on her, so he is gonna be able to take her out. So very nice job of not having to use a rage right here. Gonna bring in that hog down there from the southwest, and that's gonna get the lure. Just a golem loon CC. Gonna get that over on the Queen. Drop that other poison down to be able to get that loon down before it does any damage to his queen, as the Queen takes out that cannon. Only has 1 point defense on her, and once she is under control, gonna drop in the golem up here from the northwest side rather. Make a pretty funnel here using some wizards and a golem. King going inside, and once everything is moving in nicely, making sure that everything is under control, gonna send in all these Valks, dropping them in a way that they won't go up to those gold mines and elixir storages up in the northeast, or north rather. So very, very good job of dropping those Valks right there. They're gonna move in really nicely here, taking out these first defenses. Man, I'm on 1x. Why did that feel so slow? And then they're gonna get into the core with this rage here to be able to take out this last Inferno Tower with basically just some sprinkle support hogs over here on the northeast. The King does go to the northeast compartment, which probably wanted him to go down to the south, but fortunately the Queen can pretty much reach everything down here, as he does have a few hogs and a few Valks still alive, and really, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wizards. Is that how much it was? Ton of wizards down there on the southeast to be able to take out the exterior buildings here for a really pretty hit here from Dido. Very nice, man. Next attack, gonna come down to 31 to lbizzle, where we have Draven going in. Draven being from Reddit Omega, represent. I wish I could have represented, but just going to basically take advantage of some free funnels here. Let them do their thing. Once everything is under control, going to drop that queen to let her start doing her walk. She's going to step up, take out that cannon, take out that army camp, continue working around. Going to wall break her into that air defense there, as she is going to take that out. Can't reach that expo, but it doesn't really matter, as she is pretty much only going to have, well, it's just a 2-point defense on her. But really, I mean, that's one of the biggest things about this raid with these minions. If you get those poisons down at the perfect time, they don't do anything. Not at all. If you miss, if you're late on those poisons, they can wreck your queen. I mean, that saved his ability right there, just the timing of his poisons. All the Valks and the king are going up there from the northwest side, just a mass Valk. You can see the queen did so much work, as she does wall breaker in right there as well, that the Valks just have no other choice but to go through the middle of this base and absolutely destroy it. You can also notice that the queen, her positioning there, actually pulled the Valks into that little compartment for them to be able to do so much work. Did lose a lot of Valks on that back end, which is a bit unfortunate, but does still have his hero still alive, still does have a cleanup wizard as well. Just going to take advantage of that that northeast side that went down to, I don't even know what it went down to, but didn't really matter though, as the queen can pretty much reach everything from that little hallway, as she's going to take out these last buildings. So very nice attack here from Draven, just showing him how to do it with Mass Valk. Very nice hit, very nice hit. Next attack, coming down to 34, we have Karl Marx. Karl Marx being from, where is Karl from now? He is from Poetic Darkness. He was in our rival clan, Reddit Angels, for the longest time. But I think he was actually the leader. I don't know. He was always a pretty level-headed dude. But I don't know why Angels and Omicron was what it was back in the day. Had so much beef, but what can you do? Golem going to go down up there in the northeast. Going to get that queen going inside. And you can see basically just going to do a CB LaLoon with a jump and be able to take out the queen, the air defense, and the Inferno Tower. So, you know, very, very high value there to be able to take all that out with this, you know, pretty exposed Inferno Tower. Like I mentioned though, pretty late on the poison, but in this case he does something that is really interesting, which is he waits on the freeze, and he uses the freeze to freeze the CC and the Inferno. Now, I mean, yeah, he probably could have used a zap, but if he used a zap, he wouldn't have had his heroes being hidden from the Inferno. So really, he was going to use the poison anyway, so why not use the freeze to be able to get the CC and the Inferno, right? I mean, I really liked that in whatever raid it was earlier, where he did a zapquake over the Inferno while the CC was coming out, and this is a very similar thing, where, you know, he froze over the Inferno, just taking advantage of you know, dual use spell. So I really like that. The loons are all coming in now, going to the core here, taking out this Tesla. You know, not too much threat there from the Expo. Gonna drop that freeze to cover the air defense as well as the Inferno. Really, another good thing, look at this Lava Hound. I mean, this is really just perfect timing on the Lava Hound. This Wizard Tower over here on the west side was completely out of range of the Inferno Towers, but the way he dropped it was just perfect timing to where it just goes, you know, makes this little circle around that Wizard Tower and just distracts it from the loons the entire time. That was, I mean, really just perfect timing. I really like that a lot. You know, waiting on that back end flight side, I guess, to be able to tank that that Wizard Tower is very nice and a very cool move. I'd never really seen something like that, and, well, maybe I had, but I'd never really noticed it. But still, you know, very cool stuff. And obviously, we all need to look back at LaLoon and air attacks as level 4 LaLoon, or what? Yeah, level 4 Lava Hounds, level 7 Loons, whatever it is, are going to be making their way back to Town Hall 11. You know, I did just still have a sliver left on this Wizard Tower, but did have plenty of pups to get back over there and be spread just enough to take that down. So, you know, very nice attack there to Karl Marx. Beautiful stuff. I love that Lava Hound. Next attack, we're going to come down to Simulatives, where we have Predator from Wiz Honor Face, where he's going to come in and do a little Queen Walk GoVaHo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, little Queen Walk. She's going to step up, gets a little bit fortunate once again with the Queen Walk pathing, that she went to that lab first. Gets that wall breaker down. She's going to step up and be able to take out those first point defenses. Just has 1 point defense on her here. And you can see right here he does have 3 or 4 point defenses on her. And really, this right here is what saved him. Because right here, look, he has 4 point defenses on her. And, you know, doesn't use the rage. She just steps right out of it. Just one little third of a tile. and she only has 1 point defense on her there. So I mean, really, you know, very fortunate stuff. Good foresight that she was able to stay alive and not die to having those 4 point defenses on her. But you know, it did save a rage as well. So you know, very pretty attack here to Predator. All the Valks are going in now from the northwest side. They're going to be raged over that Inferno Tower. Just kind of ignores that minion CC. Just gets them under it with a rage really quickly and has the poisons there. As the Queen is going to eventually beat through this wall. Probably didn't beat through it the exact time that he wanted to. Didn't really matter though, as this one little Valk over here splits off and takes out just enough point defense to keep the Queen still alive. As she is able to not use her ability the entire raid. Taking out the west side here as the King is going up there to the northwest with one little Hoggy helping him out. Taking out the rest of these buildings for a very pretty 3-star here from Predator, and Predator actually being our only 6-pack of the war, which is very impressive. Next attack coming down to Hergoth, where we have Larry going in. Larry from North Remembers. Is that right? Yeah, he's from North Remembers. Larry is going to do a little Queen Walk LaLoon. And interesting base design. A lot of this base is very open up to the core right here, but you know, very little threat to, or you know, very difficult to get the Valk to take out both Inferno Towers. So you know, pretty cool base design. Plus it looks like an I, so I guess if your name started with an I, like, I don't know, Isaac or something, you know, it'd be a cool base for you. I don't know. But you know, the Queen is going to step up here. He's going to zapquake that first air defense, and that's going to enable him to. I actually don't know why he zapquaked it, other than just utility of getting it down. Usually when you zapquake it, you get the Queen Walk over there, but obviously he didn't need it. The Queen is going to step up here. You can see she only has, well, I was going to say she only has 1 point defense on her. Does have 2 point defenses here, but she's going to be able to get through that gold storage quickly enough and get through that archer tower and continue around where she's going to be able to see this Inferno Tower rather over here. But really, this is the beautiful part of this war. So I mean, this raid. So we got all this funnel made over here, and once this minion gets this down, once the CC is under control as well, gonna drop the King there, and gonna drop a jump to the other Inferno Tower. And the King is going to be able to go all the way to that Inferno Tower all by himself. And he does have 3 hogs, and he's going to drop those on that Tesla in order to help out the King. But, you know, the King probably could have done it on his own. Well, I don't know. It would have been close. But, you know, the King pops that ability, and is going to be able to get through, take out that Inferno Tower and air defense. You know, very great use of King, and you know, had those hogs to help out as well, and actually gets the enemy King down as well, which is going to save his Queen as she moves there to the middle and is just out of range of that Inferno Tower, Tesla, which is very nice. At that point, the flight is going to come in just for the back 180 degrees of the base, or if not less, I don't know, 90 degrees. As the Queen is going to continue doing her thing. She is tanking 2 point defenses right now, which is a bit bad, but fortunately these loons are going to take out this air defense, this expo just at the right time here, to where the Queen does stay alive and continues pushing to the base and barely survives that giant bomb, but plenty of cleanup over there on the northwest side, as well as plenty of loons over here on the east side. So this was really, probably, this was top 3 favorite raids of the war. I think I've said already that 2 of them were my favorite raids from the war, but this one was one of my favorites for sure. This is a beautiful attack here from Larry. Very nice stuff. I'll fast forward just a little bit. There we go. Beautiful hit, Larry. Next attack coming down to, where are we? 47. We have Optimus Crime being hit by Mark. Mark being from, I actually don't know where Mark is from. He was in the line chat, but I didn't make a note of it. Anyway, Queen is going to go in. She is going to do a little walk over here. Drops that wizard in such a way that it's able to, I don't know why I dropped it over there actually, but it didn't really matter. Oh, takes out the wizard tower as well. So very good drop on that wizard. Queen is going to be able to step up, be able to take out these point defenses here. It does get that those wall breakers to go in over there from the southwest side. As she's going to step into that compartment, be able to reach an air defense and continue pushing around, eventually taking out the Queen. Excuse me. Does take out the CC as well, as it does go down right here. Going to drop that loon over, which is going to, that hog. I don't really know what that hog was for, to be honest. Might have been on accident. The Valks are all pushing through, gets that heal down, making sure they're full health going back to this other Inferno Tower. Decently good tanking as he pops. Oh, it doesn't pop the King ability, but decently good tanking on that Inferno Tower side, as really just too many Valks still alive in this base. Decently fortunate that the Queen was not able to be seen by that Inferno Tower, but just kind of taking advantage of the fact that the that compartment was so big that the queen didn't really have to go all the way through it. He was very good job there on that queen pathing, as these Valks and Hogs are going to push the rest of this base, taking out the last of these buildings for a very pretty 3-star here from Mark from Unknown Clan. And our last attack. Woo! We're going to have Jax going in on Big Poppy. Jax is from Poetic Darkness as well. And Jax is going to do a little Queen Walk mass GoVaLo. It's going to start his queen up there on the north side. You can see she's going to be able to step up, walk in that little concave compartment, walk around there to the west side. Going to drop that golem down to take for the Valks, which is, I'm not positive he needed it. Didn't really matter, obviously, as the Valks are all going to push through right here. Almost did redirect, but they do push through nicely, taking out everything there. Going to get that freeze down as well, similar to how I mentioned with Karl Marx, where he's going to get that freeze down to cover the CC troops, and that's going to make it where the poison for sure kills them. The queen does barely stay alive right here as these loons are all working around, taking out the last of these point defenses, taking out that little baby archer tower as these Valks are going to get to this last south compartment, as the wizards and queen are working their way around on the east over there, cleaning up the rest of these buildings for a very nice 3-star here from Jax. Beautiful attack. Whew, that was it. Alright, wow, that was a long recap. But yeah, let's look at the stats. So obviously you can see that it did just come down to 3 stars, and I don't know if this is your first time to this channel or not, but one thing I like to do is have this war stats page, and I really think that it just kind of helps to give a good full picture of what happened in the war, right? So it typically makes more sense with Town Hall 9s. But as you can see, basically what it shows is how many attacks we had to quote-unquote waste on Town Hall 11s. And the reason I say that is because typically fair play meta, the strategy is to 2-star the Town Hall 11s, 3-star the Town Hall 10s, however many you can, and then clear the 9s as efficiently as possible. But in this case, it didn't really matter. You can see though that we did use more attacks on Town Hall the 11s, on the Town Hall 11s on the Twidla side, which is, I was personally going for practice, and I know a lot of other people were going for Town Hall 11 hit practice, and obviously they were the ones with the Town Hall 11 triples. I'm super jelly of that, obviously, and of course they were able to take out the other ones with Town Hall 10s. But that just kind of shows you what all attacks were used on the Town Hall 11s. For the Town Hall 10 triples, you can see that we had 9 attacks from Town Hall 10s. 10 on 10 triples, they had 10, and we had 4 from Town Hall 11s, and they had 5. The fresh triples, we each shared 3 fresh Town Hall 10 on 10 triples, and very pretty stuff there. Town Hall breakdown I mentioned earlier: 15-35, 15 Town Hall 11s, 35 Town Hall 10s, and the MVPs of the war. Obviously, I have to give it to Sorak getting that Town Hall 11 triple, the only one of the war, especially because it was on my base. Dirty. But yeah, and then the defense as well. Kalior from War Whales gets it because the base did hold up 5 attacks before it was tripled. And then, of course, Predator was the only one who got a 6-star war, so big shout out to him from Wiz Honor Face as well. And yeah, obviously this war was more for fun and practice, but big shout out to Skitch for showing us that Skitch is obviously the more powerful planning tool than Twidla. I think that's what we all learned here, right? Not really, that was just the name of the teams. But still, huge shout out to all the clans who participated for sending your strong members for a war. And yeah, it was really fun. I'd love to do it again sometime. But yeah, thanks to all of y'all as well as the people in the war. Thank you to all of them for the great content, letting me make this video. And thanks to all of y'all for watching the video, especially if it was your first time checking out the channel. But until next time, guys, y'all do take care. Peace.